It's been a really interesting time trying to maintain communications virtually during COVID. I am project managing one scheme whereby the design team were only appointed a few weeks prior to lockdown. Because of this, we've had to go through all the design stages and go out to tender during the COVID period. This has meant that communication between the design team has been critical to keep the project moving. In addition to the usual formal monthly meeting, which is now on Teams, we've also held fortnightly informal meetings. We've drafted an action tracker that's been regularly updated, and we've constantly reviewed the master programme against progress.
I suppose the biggest change for me since COVID hit was the lack of time between meetings. Prior to COVID, it was acceptable to have a bit of time between one meeting and another to kind of walk or travel to get there. So with chats like Zoom and Teams and things like that, there's been no buffer. So the buffer to kind of think about things and do any actions kind of been removed.
I think Quartz have dealt with the situation over the past 6 months very well. Everyone by now has got very used to using conference call systems and working from home. In reality, I think we use our time more efficiently now than we did a year ago. We're spending a lot more time on site as opposed to in a progress meeting in a porter cabin. So when we are out and about, we're getting more things done.
As I think many people agree, not having to undertake the London commute every day has made me realise how productive I can be when I have this time at home. Personally, I'm getting back nearly 3 hours a day. However, saying this, I have to say that I do miss the interaction with colleagues and meeting other peers in and around work. A big benefit of working in construction is the social side of the job, and whilst my liver may be reaping the benefits, I'm certainly missing our team nights out.
In terms of positive, I personally take a Piccadilly line to come to work, and I've tried District line as well to go to schemes. I think these two are, there is no such a thing as rush hour.
I think in the longer term, it will impact how buildings are constructed. I think we'll likely see, particularly in office spaces, for example, larger communal areas that make it easier to social distance. I think we'll see smaller office spaces where people divide their time between either site, home, or in the office.
It'll also be interesting to see the effect of the Chancellor's funding for green jobs. I wonder if this is going to be the injection that the construction industry has needed to make the shift towards carbon neutrality.
I think they've been fair. From a personal perspective, it was made clear to me where I stood. And more importantly, the steps, none of them easy, that the business were taking to protect us and ensure that we as employees would be okay.
I think what Quartz has done really well during the turbulent times is communicated really, really well. As I'd say, especially during the initial stages of COVID, there was a lot of talk and chat via the internal teams communication lines. You know, whenever somebody found something new from a lawyer or an article or a client or a contractor, it was very quickly passed to the rest of the team so that people could advise their own teams on their separate projects. The sharing of information was really, really good, and I found more so than I found pre-COVID that people really came together to share their experiences.
Well, we hope you enjoyed those few minutes and hearing some thoughts from some of the Quartz employees. I think from a business point of view, there's a couple of things just to round off. One is a huge thank you to everyone at Quartz, because without the team's dedication, time and efforts, we certainly wouldn't be plowing through the workload we are going through and being as optimistic and positive about the future. I think this year has definitely been Quartz' most resilient year. I feel very confident in the team we've got, that we can deliver the product that we have been doing for so many years already and do a good job. So I'm personally excited about the challenges in the future. They're certainly not going to be easy. So thank you for tuning in and listening. We hope you have a good day and found this newsletter quite interesting. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact any of the team or those that you've seen on this videocast. Thanks for tuning in.